Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for a brand new season in the TTML Formula 3 Championship. We get things started here tonight at round number 1 in Bahrain at the Shakir International Circuit, or I believe is it just called the Bahrain International Circuit now? I don't remember. It's hard to keep up. But let me introduce myself. I am Ivor Brynmike, going to be taking you through the action as your lead commentator, and joining me alongside is a brand new individual coming through. It is Mr. Cadwell. How are you doing, Cadwell?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing okay. A bit rushed at the moment, but it's all good. We'll persevere as we get ready to dive into qualifying.
We do indeed. The first couple of cars are heading out now onto circuit.
Absolutely, as we got the Red Bull of Arnold, I believe is maybe the first one out on track. Let me just confirm or deny the suspicion I have. He is absolutely not. There are 3 cars ahead of him. And I believe that is FRL Charlie, who is on his outlap furthest ahead, so we'll stay on board with him for the time being. But yeah, how are you doing, Cadwell? How is your evening? Are you looking forward to this action here tonight at Bahrain?
I am indeed looking forward to this action. Look, it's going to be really fun tonight. I hope we get a good clean race and some good qualifying as well. And how about you?
Absolutely, I'm hoping that the action will kind of wake me up. I do need a bit of action to kind of keep me alert, as unfortunately I've only had 3 hours sleep in the past 3 days, so I am on the ropes right now. But hopefully these guys will provide the action to keep me alert and keep me entertained and make me feel awake better than a big pint full of coffee. But as we're on board with Charlie as he dives down into turn 1, hitting the apex, lovely there as we go through turn 2, very easy to lose on traction as we go through 3. DRS wide open, but he is invalidated. But we'll stay on board. Actually, no, we won't, because he's completely backed up, and rightfully so. But we'll go on board with a Ferrari now of Kenji Penguins, I should say. Guys, I'm very tired. Please allow me for absolutely butchering names, but it is what it is, as Appleton disqualified for blocking the pit lane entry, and that is not what you want to do on your first endeavour here in qualifying to start your season.
It's sure not at all what you want to do in qualifying, and yeah, it's a weird one, that one. Gotta say, I never normally see that.
Yeah, absolutely, a very strange one indeed. As we're on board with Kenji there as he goes to the infamous turn 10 hairpin, where ABS is very, very powerful through that one corner. But as we now climb up the hill, as Dundee has retired, oh my god, there seems to be a collision that's gone on in the background. There's a Mercedes going slow, and there's a Red Bull. Actually, no, that is not a Red Bull. That, I believe that may be a Williams that is out of the session. As on board with Kenji as he comes towards the final corner, the final braking zone, and he's going to be looking for the best exit possible. To the line will go Kenji Penguins, as they'll set the bank up, is immediately beaten by Tam, who is in behind, and that's immediately beaten by Arno. So there we go, time's coming in thick and fast here.
They are indeed, and the time is a 1:26.275, which we're expecting to be the kind of times tonight, around high, I would probably say high 25s tonight, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's got to be the high 25s. I mean, it does also depend on how many want to try and gamble and start on the mediums, but I personally, it's got to be the high 25s if we're starting to get a few more times coming in. At the moment, these are the initial banker laps, so we're expecting these guys to go quicker, as I'm on board with FRL Bulow, as we just had, I believe that was Yaham crossing the line there, setting a 27.9, and there goes FRL Bureau up into 3rd place. I do apologize if I'm absolutely butchering these names, guys. There's nothing I can do. Like, it is in my DNA to butcher names. I am, of course, just your humble Welshman. That's all I can say. Like, you know, I can pronounce Llanfair, Pwllgwyn, Gogerio, Control, Atlanta City, or Gogogoch, but I can't pronounce anything else. I am very sorry.
Same here. I'm English, but as you know, I can't. I would probably butcher names as well. So, yeah.
I was going to say, you can't pronounce that town name. Don't even
no.
try it. As I'm on board with Legend, a man who over the past couple of seasons here in TTML has really been improving. Maybe this could be his season to go and take the crown, as he'll come to the line right now, and his opening lap is going to be a 26.4, which puts him up into P4. So a good opening lap there from Legend, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys get on. Obviously, we got Legend, Yaham, Powdy, veterans here in Formula 3, always pulling out some very consistent and decent performances, and obviously the likes of Stevie G and Yogi in it as well. FPL Vettel can be very fast also, but then you look at the guys that have come up. The TTML, the Formula 4 champion in Yeli Gleason is currently in the pit lane. Hasn't set a lap time, but definitely one to keep an eye on. 2 championships in the past 2 seasons. Can he make it 3 for 3? That's the big question.
He would like to hope so. We'll get a 3 for 3, but you never know with him. As I'm on board with Charlie right now, as he goes through the turn 10.
Yeah, through turn 10 and into 11 as we climb up the hill. And we shall see what this lap time will be for Charlie. In the middle sector is a 105.8, but he is on the medium, so this shouldn't be anywhere near provisional pole position right now. So he'll be aiming to beat Dylan here, who's currently in P11. If he can get ahead of Kenji, that is a very good lap time on the mediums. But can Charlie do it as he comes to the line? It's going to be a 27.3. So right now it's looking like you do need a set of the red wall tyres on to really have a good crack here. And for these guys on the mediums, what they're doing is actually saving themselves a set of the soft tyres for the race, just in case a well-timed safety car comes out that may benefit them in the race. Oh, Cadwell.
Yeah.
What's going on? You're very quiet. Come on, man. Jump in. That's it. Let's have a little chat with the people.
I was just looking at the cars that were coming back out and what tyres they were on, and most of the ones who have come back out are on the soft compound of tyre. We do have. I think I'm butchering this name here, but Pudi, I think I say it, or Powdy, or Powdy, whatever you want to say, who's in 14th, who has come out on a set of softs as well now for his second run. He did do it on a mediums his first run, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes around this one. But this lap should be pretty much some of their fastest times around here, probably looking maybe at a 20 for some of the top lot here, maybe 25.8s, 25.9s for some of the top lot here.
Well, if I'm going to make a prediction for what I think pole position will be, I'm thinking a 25.7. Now, when it comes to predictions, I am usually absolutely horrible. I usually get it wrong, but only by the slimmest of margins. So it'll probably be either a 0.6 or a 0.8, but I'm going to go with a 0.7 as I'm on board with Yogi as he comes towards the final corner, the final braking zone on a set of the medium compound tyres. And to the line will come Yogi F1, and it is going to be a 27.8. So a lot of time to improve there, as you mentioned Powdy about to begin his lap now in that Aston Martin. And speaking of that, I mean, we haven't even gone through the driver lineup for this season, so let's let's quickly run through that very sharply. So in the Mercedes for the season, we have Stevie G and Yogi. In the Ferrari, we have Appledorn and Kenji Pengens. In the Red Bull, we have Arno and Sadio Mano. In the Alpines, we have Tam, BTW, and Dylan McGiverin, 23. In the Aston Martins, we have the ever faithful duo of Paudi and Yaham. In the Williams, we have Dundee and TNR Langfell. In the Haas, we have the FRL period of Charlie and Bulu. In the Alfa Romeos, we have FPL Vettel and G Mac BTW. In the McLarens, we have Legend and Westy _ F1. And in the AlphaTauris, we have IRT Noah J and TTG Yeli Gillis. And obviously the reserves of the season, we have OWR Christian, NSR Pereira, IRT Senna, Tor 93 Mad Jonas, and FNR Zam. So they are the drivers that will be taking part this season, including the reserves if they are needed to fill in, as we have our first driver into the 25s, and it is Tam.
We do indeed a very good time that is there, and it puts him just over 2 tenths ahead of second there, Armo. So very impressive it is there indeed from him. But let's see then what the others can do who are on laps right now. We
got Legend. He's at 2.5 tenths up. Sorry, as he comes through the middle sector. Does need to find a bit more time though if he wants to challenge for that pole position, as the McLaren flies down now to the final braking zone. Braking hard, braking late, turning in, getting the traction down, and will open DRS to go to the line, and it's going to be a 26 flat, so he wasn't too far off, but he is just under a tenth of Tam's time.
And as we just see there, Yaham coming across the line and setting a 26.1, so going P3 there. Very quick time from him there. He was 1.1 seconds quicker than his last lap there.
Yeah, as we got TTG Yeli Gillis coming through the middle sector right now. I don't believe it's on a lap, but it's on a set of mediums, as we got FRL Charlie coming through turn 10. Very easy to just let your car drift out wide onto that exit curb, which can really unsettle the car. And if you turn in too sharply and go over the inside curb, you can also unsettle your car. So that's going to be a very tricky corner. As oh my god, FRL Charlie absolutely catching a whopper on there through turn 11, just clipping the curb a little bit too much, as he has a Red Bull of Sadio Mano in behind him. We're actually going to stay on board with the Red Bull here, as he should be giving us a flying lap in just a moment. So through the final corner, looking for the best traction possible and opening DRS to get us underway to start this lap, as we fly down towards turn number 1. Looking for the braking zone around about the 100-meter brake marker board, braking down into first, going up into second, into third, into fourth, into fifth, as we go through turns 2 and 3. DRS wide open now on the run down in towards turn 4, just after the 100-meter board, braking down into turn 4, third gear, upshifting into fifth, as we got the kings of 5, 6 and 7. Very easy to lose it on the curbs there, as we break into the hairpin of turn number 8, second gear once again for Sadio Mano, as we run towards turn 9, and this is all about positioning yourself for turn 10, as Sadio does very well there. DRS wide open once again on a rundown towards turn number 11, braking around about 65 meters out there from the corner, as we go through turn 12. Try to keep it tight, but not too tight to the inside curve there, so it's very easy to lose the car as we go through turn number 13. Looking for a good exit to really maximize what you can get down this final straight, as we break down once again into the final two corners of 14 and 15. I know it's classed as two corners. I don't class it as two corners, but apparently it's classed as two corners. But it is a 0.3 there for Sadio Mano, and it does improve him, but only just. And in fact, it's an identical time to the Alfa Romeo of GMAC BTW.
It is indeed exactly the same time. That is crazy to see. There it is. But I'm just looking at one of the drivers here who only has done one lap so far around this circuit, which is FPL Vettel. He's only managed one lap, well, 2 laps. It looks like they're now on his tyres, but he is the only driver out right now on the set of mediums. Do you think this is a strategy call, or do you think it's something that he should be doing right now on them set of mediums with 3-lap-old mediums?
Well, Vettel is a very quick driver, so I'm not going to question the strategy here. Let's go with him not trying to go for track position, but the further down the grid he starts, the more difficult it's going to be, and he is on those mediums. He is saving a lot of fresh sets of softs for the race by just sticking it on the mediums, but he's going to come through the final corner now. We're going to see if this is an improvement from the man in the Alfa Romeo as he comes to the line, and he is going to improve, but not in position.
Yeah, I rightly hear what you're saying. It just surprises me a tiny bit that he is on their medium still and not gone onto a set of softs and taking it around on the set of softs. But maybe he's keeping them, as you say, because he is a quick driver till the race and going to explore his pace in the race and actually try and give himself a battle in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that is his intention, as I'm on board with Noah J. 4 times up in the middle sector. Is on course to set a 26.2, which will put him around Yaham and FRL Bulu as we come for the final corner. Guys, I'm going to pronounce that name wrong every single time. As I said, I am absolutely shattered and I have very limited capabilities when it comes to pronouncing names, as Noah J actually goes up into 6th for the 0.1 there. And look at that, 200 for a second between Dylan and Arno. Very close there.
It is indeed very close there. I'm just now on board, well I am, with 2nd right now. And he's just about to start lap. It looks like he might be in a 2nd here. Oh, a big oversnap there from your Tam BTW, I think. There it is, very big snap there from him, and now he has backed off his lap.
Legend is a 10th up in the first sector. What's he going to be in the middle sector? He's lost it all in the middle sector. Legend has absolutely done himself in the middle sector, so he's going to find it difficult to improve here. He does have a Haas up ahead, and that's going to be Charlie. Let's see where Charlie goes. Charlie is invalidated, so it's not a good qualifying session to open the season for Charlie. As we have a Red Bull of Arnold coming into the pits. Yaham to the line. It's a 26.1, no improvement there. As we got the Ferrari of Kenji, I believe, crossing the line, and then we had Yeli Gleason there going up into P4, the reigning TTML Formula 4 champion there, getting himself up into P4. The only one that can really stop this right now, Dylan, if he finds enough time in this final sector. Is he going to be able to find it? And he does. He goes up into 2nd place for a Alpine 1-2 here to start off the brand new season, and that is going to be the end of qualifying. It is Tam on pole position with Dylan alongside, so Alpine coming out to play very early on this season.
They are indeed showing their authority and attentions at the moment. Just to tell you, it was Dylan, how close he was 3 thousandths off. So that is 0.003 off. That is incredible how close he was there to his teammate.
I mean, I'm just going to say it. When you look at the gap in the top 3, I mean, we are talking 8 thousandths of a second between the top three. 8 thousandths of a second. Let me say it one more time for the one time. 8 thousandths of a second between the top three, and we'll run you through the order. It is Tam who takes pole position ahead of Dylan in second place, joining his teammate on the front row. Westy in third place, with Stevie in fourth, Billy Gleason in fifth, Legend in sixth, Noah J in seventh, Arno in eighth, Yaham in ninth, and FRL Bulu getting the short straw in qualifying P10 here at Bahrain. And outside the top 10 with 3 choices to tyre compound, we have Langfell, Sadio Mano, G-Mac, Paudi, Yogi, Kenji, Vettel, Charlie, Dundee, and Apple Dawn, who got himself disqualified for blocking the pit lane entry.
Yeah, and still actually not that bad actually from last, who did set a time. It's literally only 1.4 seconds, so very tight this whole field is tonight, and hopefully it will be like that all season. And as you look at it as well, it is a great circuit to have our first round at.
Absolutely. Bahrain, it just provides great racing. This circuit, a lot of potentials for overtaking. It's one of those tracks you just can't leave off a calendar in league racing. It's just, there's something special about Bahrain. There's something special about the desert. That is the one thing that we can all agree on. Bahrain is a fantastic track to go racing at, and I'm expecting to see some very close battling right there. So we wait to see what the tyre choices is for everyone, as we'll have the formation lap first and foremost, and then we'll get ourselves underway for 29 laps at the Bahrain International Circuit. And a very interesting split in tyre strategy outside the top 10. So we got Langfell and Sadio Mano going for a set of the soft tyres, G-Mac going for the mediums, Paudi going for a set of the hard tyres. So he's gone very different here outside the top 10. Yogi on a set of the mediums, Kenji also on a set of the mediums, Vettel also on a set of mediums, Charlie going different, looking to gain some positions early on those set of soft tyres. Then of course we got Dundee and Appledon there at the back, who didn't set a lap time in qualifying. Neither of them did. Dundee crashed out, Appledon got himself disqualified, and they will be starting on the mediums at the back. Just looking at the chat a sec, as Funky Chicken has mistaken me for James Head. I am telling James Head, Funky Chicken, this is unacceptable behaviour. That's absolutely terrible for you. As we got Jamie saying the stream's lagging a little bit. Hopefully it's all working fine now, Jamie. I mean, I've not got any issues on my end, so it does seem like an issue on your end, but hopefully it comes back fine for you. As we got Charlie saying what a great start, and it didn't really go Charlie's way here in qualifying, but he is a very quick driver and definitely one to keep an eye on. There's one who could potentially jump up the order pretty quickly.
He could indeed, because he's on them soft compound tyres, and the guys in front are on the mediums and the hards. It's going to be, I think, interesting for him to see where he can actually get in the first couple of laps. Very quickly then, Mike, what do you want to run us through your predictions for this one?
No, I want to know why Kenji spun it out the final corner. I mean, honestly, like, this can go any way. Like, there are a few drivers that I'm very unfamiliar with, so I don't really know like their pace overall, but there are some that I do know, and the likes of Stevie, Yelly Gleason, Legend, Westy, Dylan. Basically, there's a lot of people who can take the checker flag and take the first victory of the season, as we wait for those 5 red lights, and they are out, and we are underway for a brand new season. What a start that is from Tam, absolutely launching himself off the line as Yelly Gleason tries to look around the outside of Stevie G into turn 1 as it's getting a little bit bunched up in the background. Hopefully everyone makes it through the first corners. Oh my god, there's people off already, and there's Arno, like I said, guys, I do apologise, and Sadio Mano is around Powdy as well. Everyone is going a little bit hectic here off the start. Dundee just getting himself through on Kenji. I believe maybe wing damage for the Ferrari, and it is wing damage for the Ferrari as Yogi there side by side with Charlie as he looks around the outside of turn 8, but Charlie on a soft tyre should have the traction, and he does, and maintains P13 as Charlie is really making his way up the order very early on. G-Mac having a good start there, getting himself into 10th place. But Sam, what a start from him. Absolutely electric off the line. And he's already built himself a 7.5 tenth gap up ahead.
He has indeed. And he's keeping that gap very consistent throughout the whole of the first lap. There he is. But yeah, in the just a second ago, we did see Legend have a little mistake going into corner 8, where he did lose a position there to Langfeld. So he is down now into P8.
Yeah, and also we had Yannick Gleason getting past Stevie G as well, as we got Noah J getting past the Mercedes as well. So Noah J getting himself up the order as Yannick giving his teammate a little bit of slipstream down the straight there. Good teamwork from the Alpha Tauris as Stevie's going to try and hang it around the outside. Oh, he just runs out of room. Has to take a little bit of avoiding action, and that's going to cost him because he did hit the gravel, and he's going to lose a spot now to Langfeld. Oh my god, the Alfa Romeos have come together. I'm not sure what happened there. G-Mac was sideways, and Vettel has no front wing now.
He doesn't. I didn't see really what happened there. I was looking at the thing you were looking at, and
Haas has got no front wing as well.
Wow.
I'm not sure what happened there. G-Mac, I'm not sure if he's lost it on his own or he's had a little bit of contact, wheel-to-wheel contact with someone. But him spinning has inadvertently destroyed his teammate, who has that wing damage now. But also for Charlie as well, who had such a good start. And the one thing about Charlie is, I'll say this from last season, he is one of the most unluckiest drivers I've ever seen in my life. This man, nothing goes his way as Appledore gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC as Dundee makes his way through, as so does G-Mac on Charlie. That no front wing is really costing as Arnold now gonna fly through also as DRS has been enabled, but that is no issues whatsoever for the man leading the race in Tam. He's already pulled out a 1.4 second gap and is flying out front. And Legend must have had a little bit of contact early on, because he's come into the pits and chucked on a fresh set of mediums, as we got hards going on Vettel's car and fresh set of softs on Legend's car.
Armo now trying to get past Dundee. A little touch they do, but it does get past him. But yeah, it was all I just looked back at the stream, and all you could really see on the stream, as you from your view anyway, was literally just the car spun, and then the other car behind just hit into the side of him and lost his footwing because of that. I have no idea how the other one did. Maybe hit the back of the car as he was hitting the other car.
I believe it to be more of a Constantino effect there.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
Vettel going into the back, going into the side of G-Mac there, and we had Charlie going into the back of Vettel. It's a bit of a Constantino effect. It does happen from time to time, but we don't know why G-Mac has spun. Maybe it's something that we'll find out in the stewards' inquiries after the race, but until then only speculations can be made, and we don't like speculations here in TTML. We like absolute facts, as Tam once again proving that he's ahead of the field here, because he's setting the fastest lap. He's pulling away from Dylan, who's beginning to come under pressure now from Westy for that P2. Yaham and Stevie swapping positions there, as Yaham sends one down the inside and is able to hold on to P7, but Yaham no DRS to defend, but doesn't really need it. You can use a bit of ERS to really counteract the DRS advantage down towards turn number 4. Meanwhile, Noah J, he's doing absolutely everything he can to get comfortably back within that 1 second window of his teammate. Is he going to be able to keep a hold of it? That's going to be the question. He's brilliant lines here through turns 9 and 10. He has stuck within the DRS window, but he needs a good turn 11, 12 and 13 if he really wants to get himself in this hunt for P2, because he's right on the teetering edge of it right now.
He is, and it's a great, as you rightly said, it's a great battle at the top of the field as well with Tam here. I'm just looking at the battle here. Langfeld here is under pressure now. He is from Johan. There he is trying to get back past him. Well, get past him. Here he is. Let's see if he can down the start line straight or not.
Well, we may have a position change for P2 as here goes Westy now down the inside and up into P2 goes the McLaren as Dylan there making a little bit of contact on the exit as Noah J has done well. He's stuck within the DRS range as we got Westy just pulling out the slipstream, trying to not give Dylan a toe. Gleason there taking a nice tight line through turn 4, and again a very good run on Dylan, but there's no way possible for him to make a move at this moment in time as we have a spinner, and that is going to be Appledorn. He was off track at turn 11. Hopefully he gets going and there is no issues in terms of safety cars, VSCs. We don't want to see none of that whatsoever. As we got Charlie and Dundee side by side. TTML Formula 4 rivals here going toe to toe, and Dundee with the DRS comes out on top. So Dundee holding that advantage and getting himself ahead into P15. Back up towards the front. Stevie has dropped off massively, and I wonder if he's got wing damage of some sort, because he has dropped right out of this this fight for P2, and he's fallen all the way back 2.5 seconds to FRL Bulow.
I'm just looking at his car. I can't see any front wing damage at the moment, so maybe made a tiny mistake around the circuit somewhere to maybe cost him that. But coming into the corner number 1 now, Langfeld's still in front of Johan here, and I'm going to see what happens here. But as you rightly said, Steve has just been overtaken. Now he has, so there must be something wrong with his car here.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like he's got all his downforce. So we've got Dylan and Westy there side by side through turn number 4, and that is a Red Bull. That's Sadio Mano who is off at turn 13 as Westy and Dylan having a great battle for P2 there. So very good action indeed from these two, fighting out for second place here tonight. As Tam, let's talk about this. Tam has checked out right now. He's already got a 2.5 second lead, and with these guys battling in behind, they are just going to continue to lose time to Tam. What they need to be doing is kind of working together, towing each other along back up to the lead Alpine. As we got, this will be brilliant. Yaham down the inside into turn 13 on Langfeld. Absolutely fantastic move there from Yaham, and we was on board with that, and it was absolutely beautiful to watch. But Yaham showing that red flashing light is a concern as we go on to lap number 7 of 29. It is Tam leading the way from Westy in second, but he's under pressure and he's just been overtaken by Dylan, who now moves up into second. Westy now in third. Ellie Gleason in 4th place as Noah J keeping with him again right into this battle now, as Charlie, I believe, has lost it through the infamous turn 12. I believe he's hit the inside curb and has gone for a spin, which is not going to help his soft tyres at all, as we got Yogi trying to make a move on Arno as he go through turn 4. Around the outside goes Yogi. Is he going to be able to hold it? No, he has to tuck in behind the Red Bull for now. Red Bull though does have a time penalty. Yaham He's got past Langfell, and now he's going to be looking to try and get past Noah J, who's also looking at the back of his teammate.
He is indeed, and as you just were alluding to, it is a massive gap at the top that Tam has, and because of Dylan and Westy battling, it has allowed basically the top 6 to bunch up and be together. There is a tiny gap now from Westy to Dylan of half a second, but that is about it. All the rest are there as well in this. Even maybe the top 7.
Oh my god, what a run!
Little battle here.
What a run out the final corner, Yahamad, but he just does not have the ERS to really fight against Noah J. He's absolutely out of his ERS deployment as they come down into the break-in for turn 1. And Stevie is going to duck out, and he's going to chuck on a set of the hard compound tyres. So Stevie making the early pit stop. And you know, we're speaking of strategies. I was talking earlier. This track, obviously, medium hards is iconic around Bahrain. It really is. The soft hards is a safe option. Oh my God, Westy's off, and he's in the wall, and he's out. I was just talking about tyres, and Westy goes flying off into the distance, and Westy unfortunately has crashed out of this race on lap number 8. A heartbreak for the McLaren. It was looking so well for him up there fighting with Dylan for P2. As I was mentioning earlier with the tyres, the soft hard is usually the way most people go, but I have seen people do a cheeky soft medium around this circuit. It is a little bit sketchy when it comes to your tyre weight, but it is possible.
It is indeed possible for soft to medium. Around here it is even possible to do medium hards, as you rightly said, or soft hards. There's lots of strategy on it. You can even do a 2-stop around here, like some people like to do, which I think some guys at the back of the field might do that as well.
Yep, Yannick Gleeson there getting through on Dylan. And now it's a checkerboard at the front. So we got first is an Alpine, second is Alpha Tauri. It could be an Alpine once again. As Dylan tries to send it around the outside of turn number 4. And they're going to be wheel to wheel as we go into the S's. And Dylan there smartly backing out. Maybe trying to look for a good run to maybe have a look into the hairpin of turn 8, but he thinks better of it, sticking behind the Alpha Tauri for the time being. As Gleeson now up into second place, the checkerboard in the top 4 of Alpine and Alpha Tauri. As Dylan's actually drawn alongside enough, maybe to have a look on the inside of Gleeson, but doesn't want to go for it. Meanwhile, Yaham is trying to take advantage of Noah J, who's really beginning to get a little bit held up here. As Noah J is now using his ERS, he's going to try and get past Dylan here into the final corner, and he has done so, as he should have the ERS kind of stick away, as Yaham's going to bail and come into the pits. And this could be very smart from Yaham and Langfeld, to be fair, as they both will dip out for a set of mediums, or maybe even a set of the hards. And there's mediums on, as we saw Dylan and Noah J there again, a bit too close to comfort. There's mediums for Yaham and mediums for Langfeld. So Stevie pitting 1 lap earlier, he just picked himself up a 3-second time penalty, and maybe he's looking at these tyres now from the 2 guys ahead of him and realised he's made a mistake.
Yeah, well, I don't think he's made a mistake. I just think he's picked the tyre maybe a little bit too later than he should have done. Maybe come in maybe lap 7, maybe 6, yeah, 7 or 8, maybe come in and then put them on. He's come on about maybe a lap or 2 too late, I think, in my eyes, but still a good enough tyre near the end of the race will just about be better for them. As you can see right now, the battle is still going on between your 2nd, 3rd and 4th here in this one.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting in terms of the the team orders for the pit stops here, because AlphaTauri's cars are very close to each other and they're going to absolutely do themselves over here with the strategy. One of them has to duck out this lap, I think. Is it going to be Yelly? Is it going to be Noah J? One of them has to peel off into the pits, and it is going to be Noah J. And Tam is also in the pits, which means Dylan has to stick it out for another lap as well. I'm pretty sure Dylan would have preferred to have followed Noah in and maybe get an undercut on Yelly Gleason there. But let's see where Noah comes out relative to Yaham. Yaham's coming down the pit straight now. He's got Langfeld in with the toe, and Yaham's going to come out ahead, and so's Langfeld. So going a little bit late there for Noah has cost him quite a bit of time to Yaham and Langfeld.
It sure has indeed. And here he goes then. Is Langfeld going to make it past? No, he looks better of it into corner 4 there. But yeah, definitely a lap too late there, so the undercut from them two did work in that one, and they are now up to 7th and 8th. They are now, we just did have a spinner in the background, which was, just to tell you, Sadio Mano, and he's lost his front wing and he's just heading into the pits now.
It's unfortunate, and he's retired from the session in the pit lane. It's not what you want to see here, especially on the opening round of the season. You don't want to see drivers giving up. Oh my god, Legend's out. He's lost it on the exit of turn 10. I see yellow flag, and this could potentially cause a safety car. That's an interesting place to crash, though. That's a very interesting place to crash on the inside of turn 10. I mean, it's. I've done it plenty of times where you get yourself on that outside curve and you just light up the rears and you just spear off, but I don't know. I mean, Legend was in a nice little battle as well, so we can't put on driver error only, because there were cars around. So like I said, with an issue that we saw earlier, maybe a little bit of contact resulted in a bit of a spin, but the undercut from Yaham and Langfeld has worked out an absolute treat. They got ahead of Noah, who has got himself ahead of Yelly and Dylan there. So Dylan and Yelly Gleason, they stayed out too long, and they have suffered for this, because they are now, from what was a net second and third, they're now down to a net, what, 5th, 6th? Yeah, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, 5th, 6th.
You hate to see it, you really do. As Tam is all over the back of Powdy on those hard set of tyres that he's been on since the start of this race. And it should be an easy move for Tam. He's not had much of the spotlight right as in terms of the stream, but he's getting a little bit now as he makes his first overtake of the race on lap 13. So Tam there getting through and getting ahead of Powdy, and Yaham dropping the position to Langfeld now, as Langfeld gets ahead and up into P5. The issue for these two guys though is they don't really have the ERS, as Noah J, if he starts using his ERS in a few key corners, he's definitely going to be on the back of these two, and he's going to be pulling Yellow Gleason and Dylan along for the ride, as Yaham and Langfeld battling once again, and that's allowed Noah J to get right in this DRS window. So it's gone from bad to worse. The battling for P2, for net P2, has been costing these 5 drivers, and it continues to cost them because they just keep losing more time to Tam, who is walking away with this victory at the moment.
He sure is indeed leading the way with this one, but as you just, well, if you probably didn't just see that, Langfeld did back off a tiny bit there into one of the corners, which allowed Yaham to go through, just broke a bit early there and went through the corner, maybe wanting to get some DRS or something from the corner, but Yarum did capitalise on it, and you are totally right on this one. It's now allowed most of the rest of them, so that's Noah J, that's Joe Gleason, and that's Dylan, to close right back in now and try and see what they can do on this battle here. So it's pretty much now looks like a 5-car scrap again for Pina before now.
Yep, a 5-car scrap for P4 or a net P2, as we have 2 drivers yet to make their pit stop in GMAC and Powdy up ahead. These guys are closing in on Powdy, so it won't be long till they get to the back of Powdy. The issue is, will these guys battle enough to allow FRL Bulow to close back up? And with these guys battling the way they are, they're not going to have a big enough gap to stop Stevie later in the race when Stevie comes through on the better tyres. As everyone settling down, maintaining their gaps to the cars ahead, as Yaham is flying through. And in fact, we got an interesting team dynamic going on here with the Aston Martins, as will Powdy play the team game and hold up the likes of Langfeld, Noah J, Yellow Gleason to allow Yaham to get clear? If Yaham can break that DRS and maintain it, keep himself ahead and pull away slightly, he might be able to hold on to P2. But this is an issue that is going to have to be settled, maybe with team orders. Maybe Yaham will just have the pace to do it naturally, but right now he's under pressure from Langfeld as Yellow Gleason gets the move done on Noah, and I believe that was just a tactical switch there from the Alpha Tauris to allow Yellow Gleason to go ahead, who has the larger amount in the battery storage there for the ERS. As Tam is on the back of GMAC, possibly going to be seeing a move going into turn 11 perhaps, depending on the exit here for Tam, and it's a very good exit using the ears, and Tam is going to make this move around the outside. GMAC knows this race isn't with Tam and backs out. Meanwhile, Yaham is almost within DRS range of his teammate, and this will be important if he wants to try and stick ahead of Langfeld, because he has got a bit of a gap now to the Williams in behind, and Yaham has now got within DRS range of Powdy, so this is crucial as Yellow Gleason is all over the back of Langfeld, so this could be a position swap between Langfeld and Yellow Gleason here if Yellow uses the ERS, and Yellow is got the overspeed, gonna pull alongside to the inside goes Yellow Gleason, and should be job done unless Langfeld can get a good exit, and he's got a pretty decent exit. But can he fight back? He does not have the ERS to fight back. Meanwhile, Dylan all over the back of OJ. Dylan's going to have a little look down the inside into turn 4. Get very close there to the inside curb, and there's still wheel to wheel as we go into the S. There's a little bit of contact there between Noah and Dylan, and Noah will maintain that spot as Dylan will settle in behind the AlphaTauri once again. As the switches happen between the Aston Martins, as I believe Powdy is now playing the team game and holding up Yellow Gleason, Langfeld and those lot to allow Yaham to break away, and break away he is doing.
He is indeed. He's already got over the DRS threshold of 1 second. He's 1.1 seconds ahead of his teammate there, so he is going to show what he can do there. We just had in the background Armo have a spin, so he did spin in the background, so that's why he's a little bit further down on Yogi there, but yeah, this is a great battle here. I'm just interested to see what happens here with this one, but no, he's not going to do the team game because he's coming straight into the pits.
Oh no, he's already done the team game. He's held up Yellow Gleason, Langfeld enough But Yaham's got away as we got actually Noah J looking around the outside of Langfell. A little bit of contact, getting a little bit scrappy. Noah J gets the position on Langfell as Dylan, there on the edge of track limits, squeezes his way through the narrowest of margins. And I believe he's just tapped the back of Noah J. A little bit of a bump there. Oh, contact, and Noah J thankfully keeps a hold of his car. That curve can be very sketchy, especially if you have contact on it. But Noah J keeps a hold of P5. Dylan jumps up into 6th. Langfell drops down into 7th.
He does indeed, and it just went from bad to worse there for Langford a little bit there. But as you were saying, Dylan and Noah J were literally banging. I was watching on board with Langford there. They were literally rubbing and touching as they went through corner 4, 5, and 6. There they were. Luckily, they did back out, and no real major damage did happen.
Well, the interesting thing, mentioned Powdy doing the team game. It has worked to perfection because Yaham, 1.6 second gap. He's used a bit of clear air. He's now got DRS from GMAC. And he should be close enough to get this move done. So Yaham will move up into 2nd place in this race. And with the fact that he has DRS compared to Yannick Gleason who doesn't, there's Dylan and Noah J once again wheel to wheel, side by side. And they are getting a little bit too close to comfort as well. I'm just going to add that right now. But Yaham now has a 2-second lead over Yelly Gleason as Dylan and Noah J swap positions. Dylan now back up into 5th. Noah J down into 6th. And we have an interesting situation going on here in the battle for the final spot on the podium. As I believe we've got Dundee off in the background. It is Dundee. But he's kept going as Yelly Gleason gets past GMAC. And quite possibly a very prominent place to get an overtake done there for Yelly Gleason as GMAC, if he stays out another lap, will have the DRS. So I mean, it'll be less likely that Dylan will be able to get this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had a massive lag spike there.
Ooh.
I even saw it on the stream, so I do apologise, guys. I did have the stream open. I'm going to close the stream now, so I won't be able to see anyone's chat or comments, but I will be going back and looking at them after the race has concluded. But for right now, Yaham, he got away. I think he's made a mistake somewhere because Yelly Gleason's now all over the back of him. So Yaham had an opportunity to break away and he hasn't been able to capitalise on the gap that he had.
No, he hasn't indeed. Which is a shame. Something must have happened to him because, as you said, Yelly Gleason, is now only 7 tenths behind. There's something happened, but I've got to say it again. We haven't really mentioned him much in the last like 5 or 6 laps. But another retirement in the pit lane.
I want to remind people that there is points for everyone up and down the grid. So even if you're having a bad race, don't retire because every point matters. Every point can make a difference in this season. You never know what can happen. The few points that you're giving up by retiring because you're having a bad race today could come back to haunt you towards the end of the season. Of course, the only spot that doesn't get any points is 20th place, which picks up then. As you mentioned, Yelly Gleason again through on Yaham. Apologies, I wasn't on board with it. I was looking at the point system.
That's absolutely fine. It was just a DRS move into corner 4. Very nice move, and through he went. So as you say, Yaham did have about 2 or 3 laps where he did have the advantage from his teammate, but then now it has vanished. and the other cars behind him are now on his tail again, and a great move, as I say, from Jerry Gleason there.
Yep, and Jerry Gleason there with the ERS advantage. Yaham needs to play this tactically now. He needs to use Yeli to kind of save up his battery. But the issue is he's going to have Dylan pushing to try and get through. He's going to have Noah J pushing to try and get through. These guys battling for second really want that second place, and they are willing to fight, scrap, and throw away a potential for a decent track position. They're willing to waste time battling over it, and right now, if I was like Noah J or Langfeld, I would just be chilling. I wouldn't be using my ERS. I'd just be cruising with DRS, and that'd be it. Let these guys fight up ahead. Let them tow you along, save up your battery, and then in the final couple of laps, that's when you come alive. When their batteries are depleted, and you can come through with a great deal of battery, and you can get past these guys. The Langfeld is actually beginning to drop back a bit. He's almost out of the DRS range. Now, he is on 10 lap old mediums compared to most people around him. Yaham's the only one who's on the same age tyres as Langfeld, but Langfeld there, he's on the cheaping edge of dropping out this DRS train. I think if he drops out, he's not getting back in. As we've got Charlie around once again.
No, I agree with you.
Go on.
Sorry, but I totally agree with you with Langfeld there. If he gets out of the DRS train, I don't think I can see him getting back into it. But he is still in the DRS train here, and is going around. Just to quickly tell somebody who did just put something in the chat there, the highest gainer in this field is Dundee with 7, and the biggest loser at the moment is Armo with 7, lost 7 positions in this race as well.
Well, we're going to fact check that right now, and it absolutely is fact checked. I mean, if you don't, as I believe that's Charlie off again. If we do not count the DNF from Westy, because he lost out on 17 positions from where he started, and he's going to be picking up no points. But yeah, Dundee up 7 positions, Yaham up 6 places, Yogi up 6 places. So those 3 definitely having a very good day indeed. Yellow Gleason up 3 spots as well. Not having a bad outing here in Formula 3 as the reigning Formula 4 champion.
He's definitely not up there in P2, but as we've got to say, Tam is the class actor of the field today, currently 6.1 seconds ahead of Jelly Gleason. There he is, and really trying his hardest to make that a massive gap for the first race of the season. But I'm still surprised that we haven't seen an overtake in the last couple of laps here. All the drivers, I would say, from about 2nd down to about 6th here, are just eyeing each other out here for maybe a last couple of laps, lap finish probably here.
Yeah, it's all about positioning yourself now, picking your moments, striking when the iron's hot, let's say. One person who may be looking to get an overtake pretty soon might be GMAC, because Stevie has a penalty, 6 seconds. So in fact, Stevie's already going to lose out GMAC, but I'm sure GMAC would want to get past Yogi to make sure he gets that P8 instead of P9. As GMAC now down the inside of Yogi, and it's going to be job done for the Alfa Romeo. The only issue now is, will his tyres fall off the cliff as we get to the final 2 or 3 laps? That's going to be the main question.
It is indeed going to be the main question, but as you can see, well, you can't see, but as I can see on my screen anyway, Dylan is closing that gap down. It was 4 temps, it's back down now to 3 temps. So it's as you rightly say, they're just seeing what each other are doing, and then maybe on lap 28, 29 they're gonna go for it and have that grandstand finish in this one.
Alright, well here's the thing right now, Nick Leeson's in a bit of a bad spot. He kind of needs Yaham and Dylan to scrap over that track position. Needs them to scrap for third. Yaham right now is in the best spot to pick up second place because he's just chilling in right behind Yellow Gleeson. Sticking within DRS, he's doing enough to keep Dylan at bay and Noah, and Langfell unfortunately has dropped out that DRS range, so I think it's safe to say this will be the last we see of Langfell in the conversation for the top the podium positions. But you never know, these guys could battle and bring him back into it. It's happened before and it can definitely happen again. But yeah, Yaham in the right position right now to maybe get second place. Dylan needs to pick his opportunity to get past Yaham. If he can get past Yaham, Dylan is then taking over that spot to get second place. Yellow Gleeson is an interesting one because he needs Yaham and Dylan to start battling. That is the issue for Yellow Gleeson there, as 6.5 seconds is the gap to this man up in front, and it's been an absolute flawless drive from him. I'm not going to lie, a lightning launch off the line. Almost as if he was using launch control there because it was so good. As he bolted off the line, it was absolutely fantastic, and he pulled away, got the gap, and just carried on extending while everyone else was battling in behind. And he's been able to hold that momentum, hold that gap, as Yaham now going to look on Yellow Gleeson, as Dylan's also going to have a little peek around the outside as well. As Dylan there, he's trying to squeeze it there down on the inside, and he's using his ears, he's using his battery, he's going to try to have a look around the outside at turn 4. Dylan around the outside of Yellow Gleeson, and that's going to open things up for Noah to have a little peek, and Noah's just going to settle in behind. He's not going to push too much. As, oh my god, Yaham's gone, and he's out. Oh my god, it's a safety car.
Oof. He must have just lost it in.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just got a little bit spicy. This man right here, Tam, has had an absolute flawless drive. As GMAC is a drive for speeding under the safety car, and you don't want to see many of them come up. Tam has had an absolutely flawless race so far. He's got a big choice to make. Does he pit? Does he stay out? Yellow Gleeson, Noah J, Dylan, Langfell. Will these guys pit for the soft tyres? I think Tam has to pit. I don't think you take the risk. Does he stay out? That's the big question. Is he going to gamble? He's gambling. He's in the pits. Now, Yellow Gleeson and Noah J, they're both coming into the pits. That means that Alpha Tauris will be double stacking. As, oh my god, Dylan there was trying to overtake into the pit lane, and the game has allowed him to overtake. That's incredible. But everyone chucked on the Red Bull soft tyres now. So now we're going to see an interesting battle. But for Noah J, that double stack was incredibly costly, as I believe it has now dropped him behind the likes of Langfell. It's dropped him behind Dylan. It's dropped him behind FRL Bureau as well, and Powdy, who elected to not pit under that safety car, has found himself in P5 now. GMAC has a drive-through penalty. This we know. So for GMAC, this is a tricky situation. I believe Appledon, is he here? He doesn't appear to be in his car, so it's a good job we spotted that when we did. Appledon a lap down and is in an AI car, which may give a slight advantage to Tam here. GMAC with that drive-through penalty, but it is the penalty situation. GMAC, if he doesn't serve that drive-through penalty, will have a 20-second time penalty added on to his race time. That is the penalty for the drive-through. Stevie, 6 seconds of time penalties, and obviously that's going to hurt him as everyone bunches up. 3 seconds for Vettel, 3 for Arno, and it's an interesting one. And when you look at the tyres as well, so Stevie on a set of the mediums, he's absolutely, I think he's accepted the fact that he's going to finish towards the back end here with his penalties and know that there's not a lot he can do about it. So it's an interesting one. Vettel set the sauce, and I'm guessing Jarno did not want to risk a pit stop just in case Tam stayed out. And Jarno's not in his car either. I keep saying Jarno, his name's Arno. I do not know why. Cadwell, why you allowing me calling him Jarno, but why are you allowing me to do this to myself?
I really don't. But no, as you were right, I really don't know, but he hasn't come in yet, which is very surprising to see is it Padu, not Paddy or whatever, not coming in, who's in, Pauldy, who is in a 5th position. Sorry for that, but he has not come in yet, which is just a very surprise, which means I think at the start of this one, I think I'll see a few cars behind him just go straight past him here, because he's on the 9-lap-old mediums here, and we've just seen Steve come into the pits, who was on hard mediums and now switches to the soft compound tyres again. But it'll be interesting to see what happens at the start of this one. I do believe, and I'm going to say this, that Tam will break away and probably maybe win this one, but who knows.
Well, this is the issue now. This was a comfortable victory for Tam. This safety car has just thrown a huge spanner in the works. Because the thing is, Appledorn is ghosting. I believe GMAC has overtaken the ghosted car. I'm not sure. Can't be too certain of it. But if GMAC decides to just take the 20-second time penalty and just put Tam under pressure, that allows Jelle Gleeson and Dylan to really get themselves into this. Pauli, he's hoping to capitalise on these guys maybe getting a little bit too oh my god, I can't speak. Aggressive. There we go.
No, I agree with you on that one. As here we come then, the safety car is going to come into the pits now. Let's see what happens with this then. But yeah, rightly as you say, he could be doing that, letting Tam just give him loads of pressure here. I'm not really too sure, but over to you for the restarts.
Yeah, so we all wait now for the safety car to pull enough of a gap. Tam is going to control the pace. He's going to be the man who will get us underway. When does he go? As Dundee gets a 5-second for ignoring yellow flags. And when is Tam going to go? He's going to go now, and that's a very good restart. GMAC straight into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty, and he's got a 5-second speeding penalty as well, just to add to his misery. But the one good thing is he can chuck on a fresh set of softs and maybe push for the fastest lap of the race. It all depends on what these guys do. Meanwhile, Tam, as you said, is looking very good to maybe win this. The question is, can Jelle Gleeson close up enough? Because Tam was able to pull away from Dylan. It seems like Jelle Gleeson's closing in.
It does indeed. He was 1.3 behind. He's now a second behind.
Oh, Vettel sent it on Yogi. I'm sorry to cut in there. I just went on board with it. Vettel, absolute send and a half on Yogi. It wasn't the cleanest, as we got Dundee and Stevie G there side by side going through turn 10. Dundee gets that position done. But yeah, Vettel and Yogi, I think, was a little bit too aggressive for my liking. And if I was Yogi, I would probably be asking for that position back over the radio, and letting race director know what went on. But Jelle Gleeson is all over the back of Sam here now as we go on to the final lap of the race. Tam, Jelle Gleeson, who was just at the fastest lap. Dylan has been dropped. Langfeld under pressure from Buell. Noah J is in a bit of a situation here. Unfortunately, that double stack it's absolutely destroyed his hopes and dreams here of a podium for the season opener. But can his teammate Yellow Gleason, the Formula 4 champion, take victory here tonight, or will it be Tam, who hasn't put a foot wrong all race? He's under pressure now. Will Tam crumble under the pressure from Yellow Gleason, as Yellow is pushing with absolutely everything he has? He wants this victory. Tam may be the one that deserves it the most, because he's led it all the way through. But unfortunately, F1 can be a very cruel sport, as the safety car comes out and it can really change the dynamic of any race. As we go through turn 13 for the final time, Sunday runs a little bit too deep, and I think that is game over. I don't think he's going to have enough, as Tam is out of ERS. Oh god, Yellow Gleason can get a good exit here. He's got a bit more ERS, and unfortunately he doesn't. And Tam is going to cross the line to take the first victory of the season. Yellow Gleason in second place, Dylan in third. It is a double Alpine podium, as Langfeld gets fourth, Buell in fifth, Noah J in sixth, Yogi in seventh, Charlie in eighth, Vettel in ninth, Dundee in 10th, Stevie in 11th, Powdy in 12th, Arnold's Ghost in 13th. I don't think he'll be getting anything for that, as we got G Mark now coming to the line, as Appledorn also ghosting. I don't think he'll be getting anything for that also, as G Mark now comes to the line to conclude the opening race. Is he... I believe his timings were a little bit glitched on my end, but yeah, there we go. That brings an end to round number 1. FRL Charlie is given your driver of the day in game, but honestly, I think both of us are in agreement here, where one man was head and shoulders above the rest here today, and it was the man who took victory, and it was that man on the top step of the podium. It is Sam. Do you have any complaints about that driver of the day pick from me?
No, not at all. I totally agree with you. Tam, for me, from start to finish, led this one, did really well, and I would agree with you. That is, for me as well, my driver of the day.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys, from last season, me and my co-commentator last season were always butting heads on who we thought should be driver of the day. But it's great to have someone agree with me. That's right, I'm right. I'm always right. It is Tam who takes victory here in the opening round at Bahrain, with Yellow Gleason in second place, Dylan in third on the podium. Then we got Langfeld in fourth, Bulow in fifth, Noah J in sixth, Yogi in seventh, Charlie in eighth, Vettel in ninth, Dundee rounding out the top 10, Stevie G in 11th, Powdy in 12th, Arno, who may not have been in his car, in 13th, so he may not get that position or the points that accumulate with it. G-Mac in 14th, Appledorn, he was a lap down, also a questionable one with whether he was in his car or not. But our non-finishers were Yaham, Kenji, Legend, Saudio Mamo, and Westy F1. And that was a very entertaining opening round of the championship. But a little bit, a little bit close to contact with a few of the battles. But for the most part, kept it clean, kept it respectable, and very good racing up and down the grid. I think the safety car at the end, everyone fighting for a position like that, is going to get a little bit hectic. But we look forward to seeing what is going to happen throughout this season. As we got Yellow Gleason in the chat saying that was great. And it really was a great end to that race with the safety car. But of course, that will bring an end to round number 1 here in Formula 3. But next week we will come back for round number 2 at the Circuit Catalonia, Barcelona, and that is my dog barking in the background. Yes, the dog knows Spain is a terrible track, but the dog loves it. You cannot argue with the dog. When the dog barks, that's when you know it's a good time. It's a good time, right? So we got Spain next week for round number 2, but remember there is more action to come this week in TTML. So tomorrow there will be Formula 4 taking place at the good old time of 8 PM taking you for the action in Formula 4. It will be the commentary duo of NSR Pariah and TFB_Buck. They'll be taking you for the action tomorrow for Formula 4. And of course, on Sunday, we have TTML Formula 1. James Head going to be taking you for the action, along with Pepsi Freak, who was in the Formula 2 commentary team tonight, filling in for Storm. So fantastic. Make sure you guys go check out the Formula 2 stream as well. Go watch that back, and maybe watch this back if you're coming in from the Formula 2 side of TTML. Just watch all the streams back. It's all good. But yeah, that is gonna wrap up round number 1, and we shall catch you all next week.